But despite his fame, he never lost touch with his own humanity.
The interesting thing about him is that as he grew in stature, as he became a millionaire, for example, one often wondered, will he tend to go soft, to become gimmicky, to try to appeal to a more commercial market by compromising his statement. And instead, he remained absolutely uncompromising. The range of his interests grew, so that he would sing of Zimbabwe as well as Trenchtown in Jamaica. But the concern remained absolutely the same, uncompromisingly the same.
The money didn't change Mr. Marley. I think that it changed the people around him.
No matter how much money you may have, you're going to leave it anyway, so.
He's not somebody that really worshipped money and things like that, or fame. I remember once he took the pair of jeans out of the washing machine and had lots of fivers all in, and he didn't even know that his trousers pocket was got all this money in it, and just, you know, it didn't even matter to him. But yet he never had any money either. And in a way, when he was sick, he kind of lived in some sort of terrible poverty.
What do you do with the money that you make? Do you take it back to Jamaica? Do you give it to the people?
I give it away.
You give all your money away?
All the time, yeah.
How do you survive?
Oh, Rastafari is God.
How do you feel the people of Jamaica see you as a musician?
See me, the people of Jamaica have to see me. We show the people of Jamaica Rastafari.
No. Do they like you?
If the people like me, yeah, the people love I. The people love I, the people make I.
The influence which our father have on music is that him bring the people voice to the world, and to use music not only for make money or entertain, but for educate and enlighten people.
He said, Mama, the doctor say I have cancer in my leg and maybe they have to cut it off. I couldn't believe, you know. I said, what? He said, yes, but he said, why would you give me cancer? I never do anybody any wrong. I never do anything that is wrong. What is it? Why? So I didn't really have the answer for that. I could only say, who Jah love it, he chastise it. So, you know, whatever comes, we have to just face what is before us.
He was limping, you know, he was hopping away on his bandaged foot. And obviously the first thing I said was, oh, what you done there? And he laughed. And that is the nearest he got to, he was basically saying that, well, look, you know, my foot, it's hurt. He must have known he was seriously ill, but he didn't, he wasn't even putting a brave face on it. He was genuinely sitting there, really chilled out, watching the Olympics on the TV with the sound off. And he was just very, very content. I always remember his last words, though. He grabbed hold of my hand, looked me in the eye, and this massive grin that he had, with a twinkling, warm grin. And he just said, everything cool. And that was it, you know. But just the way he said it, it was everything cool, you know.
I heard that he passed away. You know, it was terrible.
I was in Jamaica when it happened, and I phoned here in London, and I couldn't believe it.
I was totally shocked. I mean, I would never have in a million years thought that that would be the last interview, and a year later he'd be dead. I don't think he should have been made to do that last American tour, because, you know, you've got photos of him in '77 with the bandage, and here he is in 1980 still wearing the bandage, which was basically a permanent fixture in that period. So I don't know why he was forced to do that last tour. He looked really knackered when I saw him.
I think the kind of people he had around him, he was not advised properly. The record company should have taken better care of him. But there was nobody intervening for Bob, as far as I know. The friends that Bob had around him by then was a very dark energy. He had some bad elements around him that was not helpful to his growth or helping him to really sort this problem out. And he was overworked, you could say, because he was touring very hard and he should have had a holiday. I just think that the people around him just didn't take any care, and they know it, and they know how I feel about it, especially one who knows exactly who he is, and I'm talking to him now, and I hope that he watched this documentary, that he can see it. Because he had a big influence on Bob, and so they could have done something more for him instead of these people out of I don't know where they came from saying that they know how to cure cancer. And when it was too late, he goes to Germany and it was too late.
The treatment in Bavaria wasn't recognised by the American Cancer Society at all. This was kind of renegade, you know, holistic treatment almost. And I think Bob was believing, you know, willing himself to believe that he was getting better.
Absolutely not the right care for somebody with that kind of money at that point in his life.
He wouldn't go with traditional Western medicine because of Rastafarian belief. He was a deeply religious bloke.
During his brief lifetime, Bob Marley had risen from the ghettos of Kingston to become one of the most influential and charismatic performers the world has ever seen. But what is so remarkable is how immensely powerful his music remains today, how undiminished his message is, and that it still resonates so deeply.
I and I now have words to really talk about Bob Marley for the good that he have done.
He's really a prophet. No doubt about that.
If you're not living good.
He was gonna be a superstar, whatever. You know, he had that in him. He was strong to his cause, genuine, you know.
I don't think that he would have thought of himself as any saint or any prophet or anything. He'd tell you to go away with that. You know, he just would not have tolerated any of that.
Bob's one of the most influential figures of the 20th century. If he hadn't done what he did, the world would be a much poorer place.
They have made him into a commodity. Now you can buy Bob Marley shoes on the internet or whatever it is, you know. He would have just been sick.
Spirit is spirit, and it's not something you can see or hold, you know, but you just feel. I can always feel him, because right now he's here.
My father mean to me just being a father, really, you know, and a teacher. But he's a teacher through actions more than words.
Bob had a lot more to offer. I think we only really saw the start of it. If he was still around now, I'd love to hear what he'd be doing.
He's always with us, and the music is always there. He's here to stay, really.
I mean, would he have done Live Aid? You know, you can speculate, you can go on, you know, all you like, but I think if he'd have had another few years even, you know, just a couple, I think we would have seen a lot more of another side of Bob.
His music, he did it from his heart and from his experience, you know.
The fact he'd gone back to Africa, which is like the big thing that Rastafarians wanted to do, Bob was in a position to do it, and he was not only in a position to do that, he could go back to Africa and make a difference there. I think we didn't see a fraction of what he could have done.
Basically, was freedom and justice for all people, you know, especially for African people too. Freedom of Africa and justice of Africa. Yeah.
Bob couldn't have lived to a nice old age and enjoy his children, his grandchildren, and be around with us and still be jamming.
as Rem say, one of these days I'm gonna stop playing music. I won't sing no song no more. You know, just put the trumpet up. You know, see, but the trumpet is still blowing, Bob.
Now, my name is Natty Dre. Natty Dre. Positive vibrations. Natty Dre. Positive vibrations. Natty Dre. Positive vibrations. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari.